Hello, hello. I gave Finding Dory not just one, but two viewings, partially because the first time was interrupted, in order to solidify my feelings about it. So, let's review Finding Dory, because why not? The first time I watched Finding Nemo, I have to say the disability aspect completely flew over my head. It was my mom, who is an educator for disabled children, who brought it to my attention. Many of her students identified with Nemo and his little fin. That's when Dory's memory loss and Nemo's little fin clicked for me as disability representation, and how the story reflected a lot of what happens within disability culture, like Marlin's underestimation of Nemo's capabilities and general overprotectiveness, which actually might be Marlin's generalized anxiety, which is never named, but it's just an observation I'm making. Despite his concerns, Nemo actually appears to keep up with others pretty well, although it's never addressed what accommodations he might need and subsequently implemented, or if he actually does tire easily. Ultimately, disabilities within the storyline are not something that needs to be overcome or changed, not something that holds them back or makes them sad, but merely a part of their identity. In Finding Dory, we start right off the bat with, "Hi, my name is Dory, and I suffer from short-term memory loss." Suffer is not exactly the word that I really like, but there it was. Where she's rehearsing how to come out as disabled to her peers and hopefully receiving community support and accommodations. Followed by the gut-wrenching scene of Dory becoming lost, and even though she tells people about her disability, no one appears to have the patience to help her find her way home. Fast forward to present day, and Dory has made a new family with Nemo and Marlin, and attends school with Nemo with teacher Mr. Ray. Again, a kind of disappointing yet very real moment where Mr. Ray tells Marlin that it would be a busy day and he didn't feel up to or capable of accommodating her needs that day. But ultimately, Dory is accepted into the class anyway, where a memory of her parents is triggered, and she realized that she needs to go find them. After getting lost and into an accident, Nemo is hurt, and Marlin panics and focuses on him, yells at Dory to go wait over there and forget, because it's what she does best. And Dory swims away from them and is taken away by some humans on a boat. Nemo reminds Marlin of the hurtful thing he said, and Marlin responds, "If I said that, not sure that I did." And it gives me more reason to believe that Marlin suffers from anxiety, because that's something myself and others who I love have definitely experienced, which is saying things we don't mean when we are triggered. I like their small sample of disability jokes within disability culture. When Dory made friends with an octopus with a missing limb, Dory said, "So you're not an octopus, you're a septopus. I may not have good memory, but I can count." Honestly, if I go bit by bit like this could make a very long video, so I'll just bullet point some cool disability-related stuff. So this part I didn't really like. There was a group of sea lions, and the sea lions manipulated Gerald, who is a non-verbal sea lion, into giving up his pail, and barked him off the rock, and the audience laughed. Why? Taking advantage and bullying nonverbal folks with cognitive or developmental disabilities is funny. This is a movie that's filled with disability culture, but when it came to, teaching kids about, uplifting nonverbal people, and especially nonverbal kids, I didn't really see that happen. Pedestrians also, for the most part, have no patience for Dory. When Dory was asking people for help and told people about her disability, they generally could not be bothered. The disability community creates access for each other because they understand what lack of access is like. There's just so much of that in the film. There's "I will be your eyes, quickly, before I forget." There are no walls in the ocean. Grab my fin for faster swimming. Driving, and Hank was the arm, and Dory was the eyes. He basically did that in this aquarium too, where he was using a baby stroller as a wheelchair and put Dory in a sippy cup so they could travel together. Accessibility, my friends. And personally, I thought Dory's parents nailed it though. My favorite line of theirs was, "There's always another way." That's basically the accessibility tagline. We learn in this movie that the Just Keep Swimming song was actually their song that they wrote for Dory. They were protective, but they were also really encouraging and did everything they could to give her the skills that she needed and make her feel okay about who she was and with her disability. When she was discouraged, they told her some things are hard, and things are hard for everyone, and we all just have to find our way. They were the best. All the way up to the fact that they spent years and years creating an accessible path so that Dory could find her way home. And when she came home, Dory was pretty distraught, and she felt like it was her fault for forgetting them and for getting lost. And they told her, don't be sorry, don't ever be sorry, because you remembered in your amazing Dory way. So although there were some disappointments in the film, I can't say they were far from reality. I just wish it were more easily translated, that that's not how you treat people, as opposed to something done directly for a laugh. They did it for a laugh instead of using the moment as an opportunity to educate people. But overall, compared to many other films and shows that attempt to tell stories of characters with disabilities, it was pretty awesome. So I definitely recommend it to others. I'm hoping, because I kind of said a lot of stuff, that you've seen it already, but if you don't care for spoilers, definitely check it out. Let me know what you thought of the movie if you already saw it, and anything perhaps I may not have noticed, or if you're planning on seeing it soon, and if this video helped you make that decision. And I will see you all eventually. Bye.